Alrighty, folks. I am so excited for today. Hello, how's everybody doing? Welcome in. I hope everyone can hear me and see me loud and clear. I hope that everyone can hear me over the music and everything because I did some new audio things behind the scenes just before the stream. I want to make sure that you folks can hear me loud and clear. And yeah, how's everybody doing? For those of you who are kind of new to Adobe Live, or maybe you've never caught one of these streams before, my name is VooDoo Val, and I am going to be your host and designer for this segment. We are picking up where we left off from yesterday, which was, yesterday I did a bunch of illustrations in Photoshop and Fresco, today we're going to be taking the time lapse and stuff from that stream and that file in Fresco, and we're going to be jumping into Adobe Rush, and we're going to be editing some videos. But I kind of have more than that planned for you guys today, because I realized when I was preparing for today's stream that while I have like this painting that I can take from the time-lapse export in Fresco and make a video with it. One thing that's a little different than what many of you may have experienced if you've made videos before is that the video that you export from Fresco is basically cropped to the ratio of your file. It's not like recording your Photoshop screen, you know, where you still have like the 1080 by 1920 region that has your file kind of floating in the program. Adobe Fresco gives you like the square that you've been painting in, or like the landscape size that you've been painting in. So we're gonna make a quick video. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to take another time lapse that I have that is like a crazy ratio. It's like 11 by 17 poster ratio. And I'm going to do a deep dive into Rush, and I'm going to show you how we can create graphics and add images and things into the background of a video to make everything look presentable, even though our video is not 1080 by 1920. We're going to add animations, transition effects. We're going to dive into the pan and zoom, because I know that a lot of people have been kind of looking for that kind of Ken Burns effect, right, in Rush. So we have a pan and zoom, and we're going to go into that. I'm going to add music, and we're also going to be utilizing my own intros and outros, as well as creating intros and outros from scratch. So if you don't have an intro or outro to use in your video, you will be able to make one to use in Rush without having to like go and find one of your own. So yeah, I'm very excited. I see a lot of familiar faces in the chat. I see Golden Rose, ready to make it happen. Teach me your ways. I'm so excited that you are excited, Golden Rose, and I'm very happy to have you here. Sam Peterson, the one and only, it's good to see you, my friend. RB, Sir Eki, Christine, Karen, Susan, it's so good to have you guys in here. I see Lindsay Palmer as well. Thank you all so much for joining me. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the meat of what we're going to be diving into today. So let me pop over here to my screen. There we go. All right, so I have, I'm actually working on a larger monitor today. Normally I'm working on my Cintiq, the 16 HD. However, I'm not doing paintings today. We're doing video editing. So I have like my big monitor in front of me. I'm very excited. And maybe I should turn off these notifications though, so that I'm not like getting some notifications in front of you guys. Let me pop back over here real quick, and I am going to mute these right quick. Give me one moment, because I'm sure that that is not what you folks want. Okay, that should be good. All right, boom. Should not be getting any more notifications. Okay. All right, so I got my screen here, and I've got just like a random image opened up in Rush, but what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab the images and the time lapse that we showed yesterday, and I'll play it for you. So the first thing, let me come over here. I think actually what I'm going to do is maybe start a new file. I could probably do, let's see, new project, and I've got like all of these images and things that I'm going to use to like decorate, quote unquote, with. But I'm going to come over here into my raw footage. And I'm going to grab, this is our Valentine's, as you can see here, it gives me a little preview as I pan my, my cursor over here. This is our little sloth, and you guys will notice I also did the pig. So the pig is in here. And I'm gonna double click that, and come down here and say create, and it's gonna give me, a little, square. You notice it actually does this according to the ratio of my project, which is a little interesting. Some of you may not want that, which is why in order to, I mean, you can come over to crop and you can change the aspect ratio of your video and of your canvas. What I usually do is if I know that I want something to be 1080 by 1920, which is what I'm usually looking for, what I actually do is I open an image that's that size and then start opening all of my other assets on top of it and remove the image if I have to, because it just makes the image that size that I need. That might be an odd workaround, but it's something that works for me, so you folks can try that out if you want. But I have my video here, and I'm just gonna press play so that anyone who wasn't here yesterday or who didn't see the pig come to life, you folks can check it out. So here we go. So I took a sketch that I had in Photoshop, and I brought it into Fresco. We started like doing like more solid line art for it, and we kind of debated on like, you know, what kind of fun little things we were going to add. Basically what this project is I am trying to get a head start and create something that could be fun to post on Valentine's Day, like free little Valentine's cards that people can download and send to a friend of theirs. So I took suggestions from the chat yesterday, and we decided that we would do a sloth and a pig, and I just made like, you know, some cute little pig sloths, and it was fun. So I did some sketching around for a background. I didn't end up putting tons of stuff in the background, but then I grabbed our little piggy, and I think the piggy looks cute. So that's what I got. That's everything that's in the sequence, in the time lapse. Now that's well and good, but if you'll notice, like it doesn't end well. It just has like boom, the end, and you get to see like the final painting for like a split second, and then it's gone. And then I also have the pig open at the beginning, but we don't really want to show that yet because that's not really part of the it's not cohesive with the sequence of events, right? So what we're gonna do is we're going to kind of chop this and edit it up so that everything is cohesive. And then what I'm going to do is jump into Photoshop, and I'm going to create myself a graphic that will showcase my paintings. It'll showcase my paintings basically in a way that I can put them at the end. So anyone that comes to watch the video, they can see the time lapse, and then at the end they get a nice preview of the finished product. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of scrub through here, and I'm going to find where this pig begins, because I only want the sloth here. So I kind of found where it is, and I'm going to back up a few times. This is kind of how I come in and step back frames and everything. I kind of use this a lot. I typically don't scrub around. I kind of, once I find like a good place where I think I've, you know, found what I need, I will come in and actually scroll with the frame buttons here. Another way that you can do that, however, is you'll notice down here you have this big kind of scrubby bar that allows you to zoom in and out on the timeline. So one thing that I can do is I can make this much smaller, and I can come in here, and then if I really want to scrub, I can find these frames a lot easier. And you know what else I'm going to do real quick is I am actually going to bump my camera over, because what I'm realizing is that I don't want to cover up my my tools that are over here. So let me grab my webcam real quick. We're going to do a little magic, and I am going to boop myself over here. I hope that is okay for you, because I want you to see everything that's over there on that side. Okay, So what I'm going to do is I have this little a clip. It splits your clip basically. It's a little pair of scissors. I think it's very self-explanatory, very intuitive to kind of work with. So what I'm going to do is I place my my cursor here, my little scrubby. I call it a scrubby. I'm pretty sure there's an actual word for this little bar that holds your place in your work here, but I call it a scrubby. I'm gonna hit split. And then I have this whole front part that is like not what I want to show at the beginning of my piece, and I can click that and hit delete. So now my video starts right here, which is great. Then what I'm gonna do, let me kind of zoom out here, is I think for the most part everything is as I want it to be. It's not actually too bad. Um, it just goes in exactly to the end of both of the paintings, which is cool. The pig did not take very long, which is why I just decided that I was going to include it in here. And so this will just be like a time-lapse collection of little Valentine's animals. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start adding in some graphics, because what we don't want, like I said, is for it to just end and be like, boom, it's done, and then fade to black, because that's kind of lame. It's not going to be satisfying for anyone who takes the time to watch this video. So let's actually jump into Photoshop and see what we can create to add into this video. So I am going to, let's see, I'm gonna grab my folder here, and I'm gonna drag in my little, there's my sloth, and then I'm also going to drag in my Valentine's pig. So I have both of these in here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make them side by side. So I'm just going to, oops, I'm gonna hit C on my keyboard to kind of drag out this crop like so. And then I'm just going to drag my little piggy over here, boom. So now I have my sloth and my pig like so. And I'm going to control save, and I'm going to put this into my images. Valentine's sloth. I'm just going to call this Valentine's animals. And I'm going to save this as a PNG. Also, I'm sure people are probably noticing that like my hard drive is called Sith Holocron. I hope that somebody appreciates that, because I think it's really cool. I'm going to save this. And then I have now an image of my little guys here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hit this plus button in Rush. I'm going to say that I want to select media. I'm going to navigate to my images folder that I have set up for this project. And I'm going to grab these animals and I'm going to say add. And it's going to add them at the end here, if you notice. So this one of the things that you're going to notice here is that it does not hold the aspect ratio, obviously, of my canvas, of my work here. So we're going to need to do a little bit of editing. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm just going to bump this in to the borders of the frame if I can. It looks like some of that maybe got cropped out, and I don't want that to happen. So what I might do actually is, let me see if I can drag this in again. Did that get cropped? I hope not. No, that should be good. Let me bump this in. There we go. That other one, I think, oh no, okay. I don't know why I couldn't see it all. Maybe it just was loading. Okay, so now I have this image of my little guys here, and I'm going to stretch this to the edge of the canvas, and I'm going to add a nice pan and zoom, because what I want it to show is I want the end of the time lapse to fade into just a really nice kind of pan, so that everyone can like be like, oh, okay, there they are, there's the close-up. And then I'm going to fade the canvas, or fade my video into just like a full view of the first painting and then the last painting, and then we'll fade out. So I have my little pan here, and we're gonna dive in to, where are these settings? I don't, you know what I think actually is the issue is I'm resizing it, but let me pan and zoom is actually like turned on auto. I think that's what's going on. Cause yeah, okay, there. You notice you can kind of preview here, so I think it's already got a pan and zoom on it, which is why I can't see all of it. So I'm gonna leave it actually situated where it is when I dropped it in, and I'm gonna come over to my effects. Yeah, see, pan and zoom is already clicked on. That's my issue there. So I'm just gonna open up the pan and zoom, and when I open it up, it shows me my image. And then it shows me the start and it shows me the end. So I'm simply going to move these frames around, and I'm going to make it basically pan across in a way that I prefer. So I have my start here that's going to be showing my little pig, and then the end would be like a zoomed out version of the sloth. So let's just preview that and see what it looks like. Boom. That's actually not bad. It's a little fast, but we are going to have a little more after that. Okay. Cool. Now, one more thing that we can do to make it look a little bit better, because it's like a harsh transition right there. There's like, boom, there's the end of the pig. And then all of a sudden after the end of the pig goes straight into that. So what we can do is possibly, let's go into transitions. We can grab like a, maybe a fade to black. Let's see if that's awkward or not. Let's see. No, that's better. So what I did there, real quick, I'm gonna zoom out so you can see. What I did is, let me Control Z. I grabbed this dissolve. There's a whole bunch of different things here that you can. I can't be the only one that wants a Vaporwave Vader close up. Oh, I will be getting into the Vaporwave Vader. Don't you worry. We are gonna be we're gonna take a look at it. I promise you, all the stuff that I have in here, all of the Boba Fett helmets, the Din Djarin helmet, the Mando helmet, all this stuff we're gonna be diving into today. Don't you worry. I appreciate the enthusiasm. Thank you so much. Okay, so we have all of these different transitions. There's a lot of transitions here. There's 16 different transitions that you can choose from. For me personally, what I use the most is I use black and I use dissolve. And all you have to do is you have to grab it, drag it over to your timeline, and you can put it between the break between clips, and you can fade it like one clip into the next. And not only that, but if I zoom in here even closer, you can actually come and hover over here, and I can actually fade like how soon and stuff I want that that fade to black to actually begin. But I think that this is not so bad. Let's come back here to our pig and just watch how it transitions. It'll go through, it starts to fade, and then it goes into our little pan. Not bad. And now what I'm gonna do is, like I said, is I'm gonna add a, just like the images. We're gonna insert after. This is another really cool thing. So normally you could just click this, and you could click multiple items that are in your little navigation here, whichever folder you're navigated to. You could click 1, 2. I could go through here and click like all of this stuff if I wanted to, but I really only need these two. So let me unclick these. Come on, Vader. No. There we go. So I can add like that, and it's going to add wherever my cursor is. It's gonna add it. But one thing that you can also do, if you want, let me Control Z here, is you can grab this and drag it to the canvas, and it'll tell you insert before or insert after if I drag over here. And what that means is inserting before or after the clip that I currently have selected, which is very, very useful. So it's really pretty cool, depending on how you like to work. So I'm going to just go ahead and click these 1 and 2 and just throw them in here. I'm actually going to, I think our sloth is first. I'm going to put our pig first. So let me grab our sloth, and I'm just gonna, can I drag this? There we go. So now our sloth is last and our pig is first. So we have our little pan of our sloth, and then we'll go into like a full pig and full sloth. I'm going to grab transitions. Let's grab some transitions real quick. Some, fade to black. And I'm just dragging them in right there. So this is what we have at the end here. Let's see. You know, go through some more of our sloth, which I think, you know, goes into the pig. We'll go into our little pan of the sloth and pig, and then we'll go fade into just the pig so you can look at it, just the sloth so you can look at it, and then that's it. Now, this is pretty cool. It's actually, you know, looking pretty decent in my opinion, but what if you want an intro, because it doesn't really show what's going on. It just like starts and then boom, you have like this thing that's happening. But to somebody that has absolutely no context for your video, what are they going to think, you know, when it comes to seeing this for the first time? You want to give them some context, you want to give them some information. So what I suggest we do is create an intro and outro with the graphics and transitions and things that is available to you for free just in Rush. So that's what we're gonna do next. Hey Ryan, it's good to see you. How are you? We are diving into to Rush, and we've kind of like taken these. This is a couple of little characters that I painted in Fresco on stream yesterday, and I'm going through how to make a nice video with, you know, transitions and intros and outros and stuff. And then we're gonna dive into like even more, because I have I've painted Detective Rust from True Detective. It's an image that I posted a while back, and I have a time lapse of it. So we're going to go into how to create a really nice looking YouTube video when you have footage that is not the aspect ratio of like the standard 1920 by 1080. So I'm very excited about it. But first, let's kind of make a little intro. So I'm going to come over here to graphics, and notice I have my cursor scrubbed at the beginning here because that's where I want to start to add things. So I'm going to go into add graphics, and you can see there's like overlays, transition graphics, titles. I'm going to go to title because I want to like throw in something that like at the very beginning of the video it says what this video is and my name, maybe, you know, my name that just kind of shows like this is by me. So I'm gonna hit more here, and I'm just gonna look at what is available. There's a lot of really cool stuff here. You can see that there's like titles that just kind of come out and show off, you know, the title of a of the image, or, you know, whatever it is you're working on. There's some like huge full page titles like the Happy Holidays thing. There's also some call outs here. So if you need to call something out in your video, you can actually put a call out in there and have, you know, the little branch kind of extending to wherever you want your viewers to look and all of that stuff. It's very informative. Never messed with Premiere Rush before. A lot of new displays at CES this year weren't 1920 by 1080. Yeah, you know what? I've actually noticed it, which is why I've got like kind of a square video here that I'm just editing. You know, and this is something that you could, you know, put on Twitter, or you could put on Instagram or something. But what I wanted to do, the reason why I want to, you know, specifically try to make something that's 1920 by 1080 is because I myself have a whole bunch of images that I've painted and have the time lapse for in Fresco. And one of the things that I noticed about that is even though I don't necessarily have to adhere to that ratio, I want all my YouTube videos to look pretty cohesive, and I want like everything to be nice and uniform when I go there. And I don't typically upload video anyplace else. I think I've uploaded a video to Instagram once, and I've uploaded a video to Twitter like once. YouTube is where I put all of my videos. And I have these, you know, really great time lapse things that are just sitting on my computer because I was like, gosh, like what am I gonna do? Like I can't just do like a crop of it and show people that, and I don't want to make a video where like there's just like black bars on the side of it and like put it up there. So it's this, I think today is going to be like problem solving for me, and maybe you folks too if you found yourself in a similar situation. Yeah, Twitter does need its own special treatment. Yeah. Let me see, let me make sure. I'm so focused on what Val is explaining, I forgot to be polite on the chat. Oh no! It's good to see you, Christelle. Thank you so much for popping in. Woofy, what's up? Be right back. All right, I'll see you soon, man. Angelica, welcome in. Okay, so let's grab a nice intro. This is kind of cool. That's kind of neat. Let's maybe do, I want to do just like a, well, that's not actually bad. Like a brush stroke and I'm painting. Maybe that's something that we could do. Or we could just do something very, very kind of plain right here. I don't think that that's bad to do like something that's a little more plain, honestly. Let's see, what else we got in here? I guess I shouldn't say plain. I think I should say something that's clean. This one is cool too, though. I'm gonna double click this one and I'm gonna throw this in at the beginning. And I'm gonna drag it in front. It puts it up here so I can do like an overlay of this graphic over the top of my piece, but I want this to come in first. So I'm gonna hit play and I'm gonna see, boom. So top text, main text, lower text. And I could very easily say like painting time lapse, Valentine's Animals by VooDoo Val. That's something that's like really easy for me to do. So let's come over here on the side. Once I have like my little scrubby brush over here in the middle of my title, I can come in here and click, and I'm gonna say Fresco time lapse, and I'm gonna say Valentine Animals. Let me put an apostrophe S. Valentine's Animals, and then I also want to put by VooDoo Val. And look how it resizes this for me. And there's like, this is fine. This is like, if you really don't have something to put at the beginning of your videos, but you need something that makes your video maybe a little more professional, but you haven't gotten to the point where you can like commission someone for an intro, or you haven't gotten to the point where you found like maybe you edit templates or something for your videos. That's something I've done before when I needed an intro. In fact, I'm going to show you my intro that I use for my videos. It's a template that I got that I purchased the license to, that I edited with colors and my own artwork and my own social media handles, and then I just, you know, tossed that in at the beginning of my video. So I'll show you what mine looks like, but if you don't have that, that's fine. You have this, and then what I don't want to do is, because I know this is going to do like just a harsh break, I don't want it to be like that. So I'm going to come over to our transitions. I'm going to grab another fade to black. Now let's see. Valentine's Animals by VooDoo Val. I hope I spelled that right. And then it should be like boop, and then it fades in. There we go. So we have an intro, and then we need to choose an outro. So let's choose like a nice outro for ourselves, shall we? It doesn't have to be very like crazy, you know what I mean? We can do, let's see. Let's look at overlays, because instead of doing like an outro, what we could do is just have that little thing come up that says like subscribe. Thank you. So let's see what we got. What is this? What's that? What does this one do? I don't actually think that I've seen this one before, so let's see. Cool. That's not bad. So a little thing comes up and it's pink and it kind of matches with what I've got going. So maybe there's a little thumbs up, and then maybe we add another text graphic of our own that also comes up at the same time and just says like, you know, don't forget to like, or maybe it says something like my social media handle. Maybe it shows my Instagram, you know, or something. Maybe that's what you want to put. So let's come back to titles, and let's find a title that, you know, where I can just add some nice text. I'm gonna search through for something here. There's like a caption. That's kind of along the lines of what we're looking for. I like the distortion on the title. Yeah, I kind of like how it reshapes and resizes and stuff. It's actually pretty nice. Sloth versus pig, which is better? I vote sloth, but if they were battling, obviously a pig would win. I don't know. I feel like sloths are slow, but they're like secret Wolverines, so I would be wary of a sloth. Also, I don't trust anything that swims like that. I don't I don't like the look of the sloth swim. Um, it's frightening to me. Um, let's see. Maybe we'll do. Here's a two-part title. What is this two-part title? Let's see what that does. We're just kind of, I mean, this is like an experiment here because a lot of these graphics I haven't used myself. But let's see. So this comes in and that's on it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this and I'm going to drag that out to be the same. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm actually going to click this and I'm going to bump it down because I want it to come in after and underneath our little thumbs up. So let's see what that does. Boom. Haha! So we've got like a nice little thing here. The other thing is the color. I wonder if, yeah, we could change the color. So I'm gonna color drop this because I want it to be the same color as that. So that's a two-part. And then let's do headline. Let's grab the text outline, text shadow. What is the, oh, shape background. There we go. So let's also, boom, make that pink. Let's make it all match because our, this is Valentine's themed. I think pink is fine. And let's say, we could say something like, please like and subscribe. Maybe that is what we do. So please, let me caps it. I'm gonna do some caps. Please like, and then we'll page this. We'll come over to headline and I'm gonna do an ampersand and subscribe. Boom. Okay, so let's see how this looks. And let me put a transition here as well because I don't want it to be like a hard cutoff. So let's see. Boom. And then we just have like this little thing, and it's kind of pixely right now because it's loading. You'll notice that it does get cleaner as it starts to load because I am like live editing things right now. But now we literally have like this full thing. I feel like actually I should make this intro kind of have the same pink. So I'm gonna come over here. And I'm gonna, can I click? Yeah, okay, I want this code. I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna come over here to this intro and see if there's something I can change. Fresco, Timelapse. Is this something? Let me see, can I change the shape? Okay, shape top. Let's change the shape color to our pink. Boom. We're going to make this match. And then let's change our Fresco time-lapse text color to white because that kind of matches with the motif that we have like here, which I think will look good. Greetings from Honduras. I can finally join the live stream. Raul, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for popping in. Give me a sloth superhero. Sloth girl. Yes, I like it. I really like it. And Wolfie's back. It's good to see you. Angelica says that sloths would beat pigs. Umacorn is of the same mind I am, and that is that sloths now remind him of the sloths from Zootopia, and I love that. Paloma says hashtag Team Sloth. Now we are in a battle of pigs and sloths, and I think this is great. This is not what I expected from this live stream, but I'm down for it. And then we have Aninda. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Jessica, welcome in. It's good to see you again as well. If anybody has any questions at all, please let me know, because I am hoping that I can answer any questions that you have, just in case you would like to kind of do the same sort of thing. I think that makes it like pretty cohesive. To be honest, I think just adding that hint of pink there makes all of this stuff look like it kind of goes together. So let's watch what we have. Let's see about it. So Fresco time-lapse, Valentine's Animals by VooDoo Val, and then it fades to black. I've got my little time-lapse, which I will, I'll scrub through, because we just kind of want to get the base of the video itself. Let's start again here. So we got our pig, and then our pig fades to a pan, which will show boom, and then it'll fade into just the pig, and then it'll fade in just the sloth, and then it'll go to fade into our little outro. Please like and subscribe. Something like that. And I think that that is great. I think, you know, that's a very quick and easy way, literally, to make a video when you don't really have all of those extra animations and all those extra fancy things to yourself to do. So now what I would like to do is I'd like to kind of figure out how we would do this if we're working with a piece of footage that does not kind of share the proper ratio that I want. And because I have a painting that, let me go here, let me go back to adding media. So I've got this image of a True Detective character that I sketched out a while back, and I've been wanting to put the time lapse on YouTube, but the time lapse on YouTube is like, it's not that great because I don't want to upload like long form videos, and I don't want to upload a video of it, like I said earlier, where it's just like this portrait ratio painting and then just like bars of darkness on the side, and I don't think that that will go with any of the other videos that I actually have on there. I think it will look subpar next to the other videos I put a lot of work into. But the difference between this video that I'll be working today and the other ones is that those ones were recorded on my desktop computer where I had my Photoshop open. So they weren't 1920 by 1080 either, but I had the Photoshop window open in all that UI, so it, you know, it didn't matter that I wasn't working on like a landscape size image, but I want this video to fit into like a landscape size. So this is what I'm going to do. Yes, I could add some music. I do actually have a track. In fact, if I, let me see, do I have, where, I wonder where I put that. Let me look. I do actually have some music that I can put on there. Let me go, I'm navigating over here in my other window, my Finder window. This should actually be in here. Let me see. Oh, this folder. Music. Let's see, what's this? Not that song. How about this one? Ooh, that's loud. Okay. But that's, yeah, this is the one I want to use. So, all you have to do, I'm going to actually copy this. Copy, and I'm going to paste it into the branding area that I'm accessing here. I'm going to make a new folder, and I'm going to call this music. And I'm going to paste that in there. Boom. So now I should be able to come over here, click music. There's my music, and I'm going to add this in. Let's say add, and it'll put this music right in here. I'm actually going to trim this to the end, and I'm also going to, this is the cool thing, you can actually put a black dissolve here too, and maybe stretch that out a little bit. Oops. Let me actually zoom in so I can do that properly. And it'll fade your music out, which is awesome. So let's see what this looks like. I might have to turn this down. So I think you guys should be able to hear the music too. Let me know if you cannot hear this music, okay? And then I will fix my settings, but you should be able to. that drop happened right there at the transition. Not bad. We got our, I really like this song. It's actually pretty slick. And then I do want to actually see how it ends, because I just faded it out according to the end, but it might not sound that good, so let's see. Not bad. That's fine. I mean, when it comes to fading the music out, there's nothing you can really do. Here, I need to zoom in here so that I'm not doing this. I'm going to actually have this fade come in more here, so it's slowly getting loud, or slowly getting quieter, and see how that goes. I'm not really too worried about like fading the end of the song. I just wanted to make sure that it like sounded good at the beginning, and that's good enough for me. So let's see how that does with like the fade. It should start fading. Yeah. And it just kind of like has like a very gradual, you know, kind of tone down. Music fade sounding good. Yeah. So, what's up, Felix? It's good to see you. Welcome in. Music definitely adds some nice interest. I agree, Sam. I have to go now. Bye, everyone. Love all of you guys. I'll be back on tomorrow. Well, it was very good to have you here with us, Woofy. Thank you so much for being here. And I will see you tomorrow. Hello, Susan. It's good to see you too. Okay, so we have completed our video. So now the next thing that you can do is you can say share. And what I'm gonna do is call this, I want to actually navigate to a different folder because I don't want this to just save to my C drive. I'm gonna come into let's see, I'm gonna call this, I'm gonna come in here to Adobe. I have a folder where I keep all of my, all the work that I do, like when I guest here on Adobe Live. So I'm gonna call this 2021. I'm gonna make a new folder. I'm gonna call this Valentine. Oops. And then I'm going to save it there. Boom. Valentine, select folder. Okay, and then I'm gonna call this pig sloth. Oops, I got caps. Pig sloth, and I'm gonna call this Timelapse. Pig sloth Timelapse. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory, like what that is. And then I'm just going to say export. So it is rendering out my video. It's a very small video. It's not too intensive. So I have my, you know, it's going and it's going to be in that little folder when I'm done, and I will have like my finished video, and you can even kind of like watch the progress of like what it's doing. But yeah, so now I have my entire rendered thing here, and let me come over to my Finder window, and I'll pull it up, and we can see like the finished version of this video. So let me grab guest streams 2021 Valentine. There we go. Oops. There's our video. And you can see how, I hope that's not too loud for you folks. You can see how all of the maybe kind of like the pixelations and things of the graphics that we added, they're not showing that way in the rendered video. Sometimes when you render or when you're working with raw footage and things in these programs, sometimes not everything shows up as crispy as you want it to be, but once you render the video, that goes away because it's rendered it and it's, you know, put it into its proper format. But this is pretty legit. You know, we have our little square form video of our characters, and we can watch them come together. And then the pig is very fast. And then that will fade into our little pan of both you know, our pig, our sloth, and then it'll go into our little outro. Please like, unsubscribe, and then that will eventually fade away. And it looks good. it looks really good. So I have my little pig and sloth time lapse, and I can put this on social media if I want. So I'm gonna exit out of that. But like I said, now we're gonna solve a different problem, and that problem is having a bunch of really weirdly sized videos. And trying to make something interesting with that. So I promised you folks that we were going to get into the Vaporwave Vader and all of the Mandalorian helmets and stuff. And what I'm going to do basically is I'm going to create a graphic in Photoshop, and I am going to use my artwork to like populate a background graphic that I can put around the video and still create like interest so that I don't have all this blank space in my project. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here to edit. I am going to go File, New, Project, and I'm actually going to, if I can, I'm just going to come in here to images, and because when you open something in Rush, whatever image or video or whatever that you grab, it opens up to that aspect ratio of that image or video. I know that I want mine to be 1920 by 1080, so that's what this background is. So I'm just going to create one. I'm just throwing this image in there, and I know that the ratio will be what I'm looking for. There we go. So thanks, Polk. Rishab, welcome in. It's good to see you. Flash 100-yard dash. What's up, Clever? It's good to see you as well. Welcome in. Any creator from India or the US? Yes, we do sometimes. We actually have a lot of different creators from all different parts of the world that come and design and hang out with us here on Adobe Live. I actually am not from India. I am from Northern California, born and raised. But we have had people from that part of the world come and design. So I would say if you're looking for maybe a design experience from the point of view of someone from there, you can actually scroll down to the bottom below this video, and all of our stuff there is, all of our archive videos are categorized, and you can search through there for different kinds of videos. And then I would also say stay tuned and maybe subscribe here so that you can get notifications when we have other guests on, just in case somebody that you're very interested in hearing about comes through on the schedule. Speaking of schedule, one thing that I can show you too, I don't know if I've done a schedule update, is I can kind of pull up just to let you folks know what we have going on for the rest of the day. So I'm going to pop over here, just do a quick announcement. We started with Brush Hour this morning from Kyle T. Webster. We have the hosted replay of the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenges for me every morning at 9 a.m. This week we had character design with Anderson Blue, which was really cool, today at 9:30 Pacific. Followed by the Illustrator hosted replay for the Daily Creative Challenge by Andrew Hockrattle. I'm here doing the illustration to video segment at noon Pacific time, and then right after me, we're going to round out the day with another hosted replay of the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge with Andrea Epi. So yeah, this is kind of what we've got going on today. We will have a different schedule tomorrow too, because we'll have different guests and some other fun folks for you guys to come in and meet. So stay tuned because we definitely have something that's coming up after me, and we also will have a jam-packed day tomorrow, so you'll want to come back for that. Celine, it's good to see you. Hello, hello. Let me come over back here to my workspace. All right, so let's make a video background for this. Now, I happen to know that my video that I'm going to be working with it's kind of like an 11 by 17 size. I have this background PSD open that's just, it should be actually 11 by 17, or not 11 by 17, 1920 by 1080. Perfect. Let me escape because I don't want to crop it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start dragging in some of those things that we were looking at before, some of those overlays and images and things to kind of make this look interesting. I know that one of the things I'm going to do, let's see, let's create new, is I want to make like a little template. I believe this is the proper size of my video because I did a little test earlier. My video is a very weird shape. It's 698 pixels by 1080 pixels. It's very strange. And so you can see why I'm like hesitant to put it on YouTube, because I'm like, geez, like what is it gonna be like, you know? So what I'm gonna do is I've just opened up this file, and I am going to Control A and Control C, or I could just do Control X because I'm not really gonna come back to this, and I'm gonna throw this into my file here as a guide for the shape of my video that I'm gonna put, like have above this background in my Rush video. So let's see, I'm going to, first of all, Control V, and you can't see this because I just pasted something white on a background that's white. So I'm actually going to drag in a background here, and you folks will remember that I had, you know, all of those resources and things that we're showing in Rush, and that's where I'm pulling from here. So I have like this purple background that I can throw in there that is just, you know, obviously I love black and purple. I think that this suits me very well. I like it. So I'm gonna stick with this, and then now you can see this better. So this is our, I'm gonna say video, I'm gonna name it video placeholder. Video placeholder. And I'm gonna preface this process by saying this may not be what you folks would want to do for your video. That is a different ratio than what you prefer to upload as, but what I'm hoping here is that it gives you not only some ideas for how you could resolve the problem in maybe a different way that suits you better, but also kind of dive into each and every one of like the main tools in Rush, so that even if maybe you're not trying to solve this problem, you can still see how easy it is to bring in other graphics and all of that good stuff to a project and have a lot of different elements work in harmony together. So I'm gonna hold Alt because I want to drag this in from all sides and keep its ratio. And I'm going to position this over here on the side. And a little strange, but if you could imagine for a moment that I have my video over here, like this is a video you're watching. So let me zoom in here so you guys can see like this whole big thing. So on YouTube, you would have this full screened, and you would, instead of having to like watch a crop version where it's only like this one part of the painting, you can see the whole portrait kind of coming to life. And instead of having it in the center here with darkness on either side that's uninteresting, what we're going to do is we're going to have all of those little Mandalorian helmets and Star Wars stuff that I have painted that I like pretty well, I think kind of is interesting. We're going to have like a collection of those things piled in the corner here. We're going to have like a big painting over here in the side to kind of populate this canvas. And then we're going to add some text up at the top that has my social media handles and things that I want people to know when they come to my channel to watch my video. And then we're also going to add some animations to like throughout the video. So as you're watching like this time lapse that's happening over here, you'll have this little thing coming up that says like subscribe, you know, and then goes back down, and then maybe a new one comes up that says don't forget to leave a like, you know, and it'll go back down, and then maybe it'll say hope you're enjoying this video, something, whatever it is that we want to do, but we'll have like action and things happening on the screen that's not too distracting from the painting, but still looks nice. So let's concept that out and see how that is going to look. As I said, this is like our little placeholder video. I am going to obviously have a gigantic painting of Kylo Ren on the side of this. I'm sure everyone is super surprised that that's going to happen, but I've cut out, I have, maybe actually I can pull up my Behance. I went through my paintings and I was like, yeah, I know I'm gonna add a painting to like the side of this of this video. Like I know I am. What should that painting be? And I was like, I'm not gonna choose a Star Wars painting. I'm not gonna choose a painting of Kylo Ren because I do that all the time. And then very shortly after I decided I wasn't gonna do that, I was like, looking through here and I was like, I'm gonna use this painting. Like, I'm gonna put this painting on there. This is one of my favorite paintings that I've ever done. So what I've done is I've created a version of this that I'm gonna Martha Stewart-y folks. I'm gonna show you the painting, and then I'm gonna show you that I've cut him out. Because I don't want you to have to sit here and watch me like use the pen tool and go around like the flowers and all that stuff. So I've cut him out of my piece, and he looks like this now. If I drag this in and kind of throw this in here, so you can see it's just like this little version of him that can sit on the corner. If I snap that over there and I can bump that in, and I think that looks nifty. So we have our little Kylo friend here just to kind of make this look interesting. I like it. And now we're going to see about adding some other things to this, because I also have, I believe I had a request very specifically to please show the Vaporwave Vader. So here is, actually I'll pull up so you can see what I cut him out of as well. For those of you maybe who have not seen the Vaporwave Vader, this is it. So I've cut Vader out of the painting so that I can like stack him in a corner or something, you know, with the rest of this stuff. So that looks now like this. If I throw him over here, and I don't want this to take up like the entirety of the video here, so I might have Vader like very small. I don't know if there's any folks in chat who read or speak Japanese, but I put hopefully somebody told me correctly that this says father like down his chest, just in case anybody is wondering like what that says. Unless somebody decided to play a practical joke on me and it does not say that and it says like cheese enchiladas or something. I don't know. I don't speak or read or write Japanese, so if there's any Japanese speakers and readers in the chat, if y'all could just holler at me and let me know that I put on here what I meant to put on here, that would be great. Love those Vader colors. Thanks, Sam. It was literally one of those times where I was like, let's, you know, throw a bunch of colors everywhere and just like flip through the blending modes and find a bunch of crazy stuff to put on it. And that's what ended up happening. It actually started as a grayscale black and white painting, and then I kind of like went hog wild with colors. Did you check Google Translate? I did check Google Translate, and I got like 3 different things, so I assume that there's just different phrases and different like the difference between like kanji and hiragana and katakana and like all of these different ways that you can actually write the characters for this word could be different. So it does. Okay, Sandrine has confirmed that it does say father. Okay, perfect. What Star Wars movie should I start with? You should start with A New Hope. You should always start with A New Hope. And then you should watch through the original trilogy, and then after that you should watch the prequels, and then you should watch Rogue One, and then you should watch the sequels. That's how it should go. That's the proper watch order. Love the cyberpunk sort of style. Thank you, Cody. Thank you. Lindsay says, I know nothing. I disagree. I'm sure you know plenty. I did that for something I wanted to use. Yes. That's, you know, Golden kind of replying about the Google Translate, I assume. And I agree. Man, what a pro. You're very kind, Julian. Welcome in. So I have these, and then I also have some Mandalorian helmets that I painted. And this came from the Mandalorian. I have like a whole series of these. I just kind of want to like stack. I don't know if this is going to look good. But I just kind of like want to stack some like just like little items and things around. And just like put stuff around. I don't know. It's just like kind of a developing concept, but again, I can also show you folks like where I'm cutting these from. Let me pull up my thing here. I have Mandalorian helmets of Mandalore thing. So I have like all of these different paintings of like Mandalorian helmets that I did that I really had a lot of fun with. There's a mystery machine. There's also a Hello Kitty one that I haven't added here yet, but there is one that I did on Adobe Live actually that is a Hello Kitty um, a Hello Kitty one that has a big bow on top. It's hot pink and it has looks like Baby Yoda took a Sharpie to it and drew himself on it, and it says Rebels Faux Eva on the side. But yeah, so I've like just basically been cutting. Here's Din's helmet that I painted, and I could throw that one in here. I don't know. I don't know if that looks great. I don't know. Maybe something over here. I don't know. I'm throwing these in here, and I'm throwing them in there because I just like want to see everything together. I want to see if there's anything like worth, you know, worth it here to kind of make this look cool. I've also got this Thrawn. If there's any Grand Admiral Thrawn fans in the chat, holla at your girl. I love Thrawn. And I could put the Thrawn over here, just like have that, like, you know, they're like over here kind of looking at stuff. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's even like a good move. But the basic gist, like I said, is I have all of these paintings and I'm just trying to like kind of create some sort of something. Let me flip this so that it looks cool over here. You know, I want it to look cool. I want it to kind of give this air of like things are happening. Actually, that looks good in the corner. I don't know, maybe we'll move the Vader. What if I put Vader over here? Maybe Vader's just like peeking out. I don't know if I want to cover, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe Vader is over here and he's peeking, and maybe Thrawn is kind of just like boom, just kind of like stacked right there. That's kind of cool. It's kind of like a little stairway effect, and it just has like, you know, there's some paintings over there, and I got like, you know, my Boba helmet like kind of in the corner here, and then I want to show more. And okay, another thing that I want to say, just in case any of you are like, why are you covering the template and the placeholder for your video? I know for a fact for this particular video that there's not a lot of interesting stuff happening down here for it, so I'm kind of cool with like covering some of the stuff up, you know, kind of encroaching upon the corners. I'm cool with that. It's all right. If it was any other kind of painting, I might change my mind about it. But this is fine for me. Okay, I have, you see, Din Djarin's Mando helmet. Maybe I'll just do that. And maybe I will bring this to the top and have that over. Yeah, okay. I could also do this one right here, and bring Mando 3 over here. This Mandalorian helmet, this is not anyone's specific helmet. This is just like a random helmet that I came up with, and I was like, cool, Val. It's got like hatch marks on it, and it's interesting. I thought it was just neat looking, but I'm gonna go ahead and just throw that in there. It's not horrible. Some folks, it might not be to taste, you know, it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I just want something to populate. And so that's cool. This is good enough for me for now. Let's see. The Star Wars recommendation was perfect. Thank you. I'm glad that there are some like-minded folks in here. So now I have my background and I have my video template in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some social media handles to this. And the way I'm going to do that is back here. I am going to grab, I'm going to put like a border. I'm going to grab a rounded rectangle and I'm going to drag this out like so and like so. And notice I have my grid on there. that kind of allows me to make sure that it was centered in the center. I'm going to make sure the stroke is white, and I'm going to crank this down because this is way too large. Way too large. I don't know why when I say the word large, it sounds like I'm from Brooklyn. I'm not sure where that came from. Let's do like a 3 pixel. What does that look like? Cool. Okay, so we've got like this border. And what I'm gonna do now, I might make this Kylo just slightly smaller, just a tiny bit smaller, because what I'm gonna do is grab this rounded rectangle. I didn't fill it, so I just basically made myself a border. I'm gonna bring this in with Alt. I'm holding Alt as I transform this so that it's, you know, transforming in from all sides, keeping the aspect ratio that I like here. And I am going to grab a font. I'm gonna hit T on my keyboard. Ooh, let me make a new layer. Hit T on my keyboard, and I am going to write, I could say like at VooDoo Val, at VooDoo Val. That's my Instagram. I want that to be up there. And I want to make this white. Let's make this, let me bring my little color picker up here. Let's make this white. Let's use Montserrat Bold. Could we do that? No, let's use like swipey stuff, because I'm gonna add my intro to this video. We're not going to be creating our own intro. We're going to be actually using an intro that I use for all of my like branding, and it has like paint swipes in it. So I think that this would look nice if we do this. So I'm going to go ahead and add that up there on that line, and I'm going to grab this rounded rectangle. I'm going to hit the mask, and ooh, not the filters. I'm going to hit mask, and then over here I'm going to I'm going to grab my general brush, my soft round brush, and make sure I'm on black, and I'm going to make this smaller, and I'm just going to mask this out real quick so that it kind of like fades. So it has like just a nice little fade right there, because I want it just to say my name, my handle, like up there in the corner, and that's cool. So I've got this here. This does not look bad to me. It is different, but it's gonna allow me to make this video look really nice, I think. Hey, what's up, Panda? Good to see you. Wow, the borders make a great difference, brings everything together in a way. Yeah, just kind of like makes it like cohesive. I think I like it. And another thing that I could do if I wanted is maybe I can put my logo. I have a logo that I could use. I could put my logo in the other corner if I wanted. Maybe we do that. Let me grab my logo. I designed this logo on Adobe Live by accident. I didn't even know I was gonna like it that much, and I did. And it's literally just like a geometric symbol with like a really cool V in it, and I was like, huh, this is nice. So this is my little logo that I have, my little Val logo, and I'm gonna make it small, and I'm also gonna put it right there so that it does not encroach upon, you know, kind of what we're doing here. And then I'm going to come back to my mask, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to mask this out, boom, and just have it kind of fade into my logo being in the corner. Boom. So now we have, you know, VooDoo Val, some of my art. So if you show up, maybe you're going through YouTube and you're like, okay, like I'm just watching time lapses and whatever. This is something where when you see this video, like, you know, start out, sometimes when you're watching time lapses, if the image, you know, the time lapse doesn't start out and you can't really like see the scope of the painting, like within the first few moments of the time lapse, sometimes people take off. But I think that if I have, you know, all of these little examples of my painting, that no matter what that time lapse looks like in the first few moments, people will be like, okay, it's a sketch right now, but like, here's examples of her work, and I think that this looks good, so I'm gonna stick around. I'm gonna see what happens here for this video. Okay, so this looks great. We're still gonna add some animations and things to the video itself, but right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start breaking apart this layer by layer and save it as images that I can throw into the actual Rush scene. So I'm gonna grab the Din Djarin helmet, the Mando 3, and the Boba helmet. I'm gonna group these, and I'm gonna call these Mandos. I'm gonna grab all of the text and like the background and everything. I'm gonna group that, and I'm gonna call this BG for background, and then I'm gonna group all of these images, and I'm gonna call this Control G and call this left images, because that works for me. I'm gonna hide the video placeholder. Okay, looks even better with just this. And I'm gonna group these together, the left images and the background and everything. I'm gonna group those together, and I'm gonna call this base. Okay, let's hide the Mandos. And I am going to Control Shift S for save as. I'm gonna save on my computer, and I am going to, let me navigate to all of this stuff. I'm gonna navigate to images. I'm gonna make a new folder. I can kind of show you what I'm doing here. Make a new folder, and I'm gonna call this new folder Final Assets, and I'm going to call this BG is fine for background. I'm going to make this PNG, and I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to hide all this so it's transparent. I'm going to pull these Mandos back in because I need to make this a separate layer, but I need the layer to be the aspect ratio that I want. So when I place this into my Rush file, everything looks the way that I had it here in Photoshop. So it has all this extra space so that it'll place into the proper place, and I'm going to Control Shift S, save on computer, and I'm going to call this Top Mandos, and I'm going to save as PNG. I think I must have saved that. Oh, no, here we go. We need to go to Images and Final Assets. There we go. Save. So now we have that done. And now let's open Rush and let's see what we got going, what we got cooking here. So I'm going to page that down. Here's my Rush. I'm going to go over here to the top left, and I'm going to say Add Media. I wish I could happen upon just the right logo for myself. It's always hardest to develop your own brand. It really is, Lindsay. And you know, the way that I did this, that I designed it, is I stopped caring about it because I realized I was going to have to teach a DCC for you folks that was about like kind of creating a logo, creating your own brand. And I was like, gosh, like I'm never happy with what I make, but I put way too much thought into making my own logo. So I was just like, well, what do I want? I want a cool logo that looks like something that would be neat and cool to have like on a t-shirt or a hat or something. I know I want something geometric, and I know I want a letter V in it. And so I just did that. I was like, here's a geometric symbol, here's a letter V, what does that look like? And instead of thinking to myself like, oh, it has to be just right, I gotta do all these iterations or whatever, like I would do for a client, I just tossed something together for myself, and it ended up looking pretty cool. So I would say if you're designing a logo for yourself and you're having a hard time, stop thinking about it so much and just mash some things together and see if something happens. Because I think the level of time and care and thought you put into something that you know is going to represent you forever, even though you do that with clients a lot, it feels totally different. So, you know, kind of, yeah, don't overthink it. Yeah, I'm so guilty of it too, Lindsay, don't worry. I might have to commission you to draw Captain Rex's helmet. I would love to draw Captain Rex's helmet. I would love to do that. I was thinking about doing a series of clone troopers and various like pilots' helmets and stuff. Just like I did the Mandalorians. Okay, let's see. Where is there? Okay, Final Assets. Let's drag this in here. And I am going to kind of space this out. We got like a weird, let me delete this. I think what this is doing, and this is not something that happens to me a lot, but I think what this is doing, if this is happening to you, what I've figured out throughout the course of today's stream is I think that when you drop an image in and you know the aspect ratio is fine, but it's cropping it, I think you have auto pan and zoom on. And when I turn it off, there it goes. So if you ever jump into Rush, you throw your stuff in there and it's like, I'm like, you know, why is it cropped strange? Pan and zoom is probably auto on and you need to toggle it off so that it goes back to the ratio. Otherwise, what you're going to get is this. It gives it an auto pan, and I don't want it to do any of this. It's a background. It is not a showcase kind of. So I have this, I've got, you know, all my stuff in there, and then I'm also going to put my Mandos in here. Boom, there's my Mandos. So now I have like 2 different layers. And then I need to navigate to my my raw footage. So I'm going to come over here to raw footage, and this is my painting time lapse for Matthew McConaughey from True Detective season 1, because I thought that he did a really good job and his character was very compelling. It's one of the best performances I've seen from him, to be perfectly honest. So let me kind of zoom out. I want to resize this, because this is going to go over on the end like I had it in the thing here. There we go. It's going to be over like that, and I'm going to grab this image and I'm going to need to resize it. Let me see if I can resize this thing. I'm gonna try and drag this out. Yeah, there we go. So I can drag out an image if I want that image to last a long time. If I want the image to stay consistently behind, you don't have to duplicate the image over and over again. You simply drag it out. So you can see now that this whole image is going to be stuck back here the whole time. So if I play through this, you can kind of see how this is going. I'll let you guys watch the time lapse if you're interested to actually see the time lapse itself. And what I want to know is where my Mando helmets went. I might have accidentally replaced it. So I will get to that in a sec, but let's, I'm going to bump this back just so you guys can see that. Something that I do, just like if I can make a comment about like illustrating and stuff, I sometimes have a hard time like getting people's likeness whenever I paint them. So one thing that I do is I keep my reference that was there right next to my painting, and I will draw lines to like line up where I need to put the eyes and nose and mouth, because I've found that it like really helps me to keep everything, you know, the ratio proper. So if you're wondering what that was, that is it. And then now I am starting to, can I full screen this? Yeah, there we go. So now I'm just gonna, you know, jotting in the eyes and the nose and the mouth and all that kind of stuff and solidifying it. And then what I am gonna do is kind of add some shading and things. But you know, once we get the Mando helmet and stuff in here, you can see like that's gonna be pretty legit. That's gonna be pretty cool. One of the things that may come up, because we're adding a lot to this, is there is a limited amount of levels in Rush that you can add tons of things. In something like Premiere or After Effects, you can have like all of these things like layered and layered and layered on top of each other. But in Rush, you have like a layer for your main footage, you have a layer for your audio, a few layers for audio, and then you have a few layers for images and things. Ooh, and there's the end of it. We're gonna have to do some editing to make that look a lot nicer. There's layers for some images and things up here as well. But what you might find is if you really just want to use Rush, you don't want to use Premiere, you may find that you kind of run out of levels to put things. So one thing that I do is I will create like the base of an image, or the base of my video, and I will render that out. So, because I know that those are things I'm not going to want to change. And then I'll take that footage and come in and start adding layers of animations and transitions over the top of it, which works for me. Let me come down here and make sure I haven't missed anything. Make for a good thumbnail also. Yeah, I think so. This is different, but it's fresh without being cluttered. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do, Caitlin, is like, I want it to be populated with stuff, but I don't want it to be like hard to watch. So really good point. You're making sure people know that you're a professional. Yeah, I'm trying to give them examples of my work and things so that they can see that when they show up and they're not just kind of like, what is this sketch? I didn't know that layers could be used in Rush. Well, I'll show you what I mean. I'm saying layers. I don't know that they're called layers, but that's how I see it in my head. Maybe because I'm an illustrator and I'm used to using Photoshop, but I will show you. Ramon, welcome in. It's good to see you, Ramon. Thank you for stopping by. Let's see. I am. Let me find my Mandos. Where did my Mandos go? I want to go into images, final assets, Mandos, and I want to add. There we go. And I'm going to drag this up. There we go. So I have like these 3 layers and levels. Let me drag this out to the end here. Cool. So there we go. Now I have the Mandos on there. So I have these layers, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that that is about how many visual layers that I have. And then I have audio layers that I can layer underneath as well. But you see how they stack. So now I have, you know, my background, I have my video in here, and I have my Mandos over the top. So everything is nice and sandwiched. And what I can come in here and do is I can drag this, like maybe I want it further over here. Maybe I, you know, just kind of want it like so. I think that is not so bad. I could also kind of see what it looks like if I put it more behind the Mandalorians. And then I can scrub through, because what I want to make sure is while I'm painting this, that it doesn't distract from the painting. And like I mentioned, I'm cool with putting these Mandos here in the corner because I knew that there wasn't going to be tons of interesting stuff going on in this painting. Around the edges there, as you can see, like the main focus is clearly like his face. However, it kind of leaves a lot of empty space here. So I might go ahead and bump this out. And then I have, maybe I'll put it like right there. And I will, oops, that is not what I wanted to do. There we go. Okay. So I have him, I'm gonna click this and I'm gonna hold shift and kind of drag him down so that it's even. And then I'm gonna add some little animation-y kind of things that pop up right here. So let me see, I'm gonna see if I have the space to add another layer of visuals, and if not, we're gonna render this out because you know, it's good. I know that I'm not going to change this. I'm not going to want to put anything in between any of this stuff. The rest of what I need to add is just music and animations that go on top. So it's fine for me to basically, I think it would be the equivalent of like flattening an image or converting a bunch of layers to a smart object. Like we're like compressing them all together so that it will all be on one layer, and then I can start to kind of layer more things on. It's like how animation is done, in a manner of speaking. Yeah, very similar, yeah. Okay, so, and I'm kind of looking at how we're doing on time. I think I have maybe 30 minutes left, so I think that that is exactly enough time to really get this going and do some interesting stuff. So let us see. I'm gonna come over to transitions, add a graphic. And I am going to see if I'm just going to grab a random overlay. Let's grab this subscribe. I'm going to add it and I'm going to see where it puts that. I think it, oh no, I got another layer. Okay, perfect. Perfect. I don't think I actually have to do anything. I think, however, if I tried to, like, let me try to add another one. I think that's probably, I think I'm probably out. Yeah, see, I can't make another layer. So if I wanted to put something um, on top of this subscribe, I wouldn't have um, another layer to do that with. But I mean, 4 visual layers is pretty darn good, especially considering just how intuitive it is to use Rush. Like this is a really great app to be able to do all this stuff in. And I want to call attention specifically to the fact that I could have done all of this on my iPad. And I've done that before, where I edited an entire video exactly like I'm doing now using Fresco, iPad, Photoshop, and Adobe Rush on the iPad as well. So I, painted something in Fresco. I got my time lapse. I exported it to Creative Cloud. I went into Photoshop on the iPad and made all of my graphics like I've done here. And then I just like imported all of that to my Rush on my iPad and finished, and then exported directly to YouTube. It is so easy. It is so great. Okay, let's add my little call outs. Let's do some little things. I kind of like this leave a like button here. So let's add a little leave a like. And what I don't want to do, however, is like put these so crazy that it's like happening all the time. So I'm gonna space this out to like 15 minutes to give it some time. So if we begin, I don't really want the first call out coming in until like 15 seconds in. So at the 15-second point, then we have like this big like, but let's edit this. So now we can see how large it is. I'm gonna shrink this down, and I just want this to come up right here. I just want a little animation just to come up, boom, right there. Let's see what that looks like. Let's see. Leave a like, boom, there we go. And that's it. And then it disappears. Cool. And maybe I'm gonna select this, and I'm going to say, I'm gonna right click it, and I'm gonna say duplicate, and then I'm gonna throw this over here at 1:15. So a minute later, it will play that again. I'll have another one of those that comes up. And then let's also grab our subscribe. I like this little subscribe thing, so let's add a subscribe. Let's see what that looks like. It's pretty large. So I am also going to grab this. We'll kind of resize it. And let's put that right here. Let's put that down here too. Let's not be like extra intrusive with it. Let's see how that looks. Nice. Got a little subscribe thing going on there. I don't like how it clips just off real quick. So let's put this at like 45 minutes or 45 seconds, because this is a pretty quick video. And let's edit this. Let's come over here into transitions, and let's drag a fade to black. Or no, not a fade to black. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I want to do, and then I'm going to show you what fade to black would have done. So I'm going to put a dissolve on this, because what that's going to do is just going to fade out. So you'll see, here it goes, pops up, and with that dissolve, instead of a hard cut, it fades out. That's what we want, okay? It looks really nice that way. It's not intrusive. Here's what fade to black would have done. We do Control Z to edit that. Let's grab a fade to black. Let's throw that on there, and let's see what happens here. I believe it's going to make this whole entire layer. Yeah, and that's not what you want. So if you're trying to fade something out, use dissolve, because what that did was it put a fade to black filter over the entire screen to fade it to black. You want to put a dissolve on there. So if you're wondering like why you have all these strange transition clips and stuff that doesn't make any sense in your videos, it's probably because of that. Let me delete that. Okay, there we go. Boom, subscribe, fade out, dissolve out, and let's duplicate this one as well. I'm going to right click, duplicate, and I am going to put this at 1:45. So they're about like a minute from each other, and it's just like little reminders to subscribe. And I may change that, you know, like maybe I you know, want to do something different eventually, but I think that this is a pretty good way to kind of start branding your, you know, your video. So okay, we have it start 15 seconds in. It goes leave a like, and then a little subscribe reminder, and then another leave a like, and then a subscribe. And then what we're gonna do is we need a intro and outro, and I have one. So I'm going to grab my my intro, my outro, and I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to try another one of these little animations here. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, because there's some really cool ones. Like I kind of wanted to see what this is. I don't. I'm gonna try this before we grab anything else. I'm gonna try. I want to know what this is, because I'm seeing like this little picture here, and I'm not. Is it just a frame? Let me see if that's just a frame. Oh yeah, so I could have, oh, okay, that's really cool. So you folks, this is really neat. So you could use that frame if you wanted to do something like this, for instance. Maybe I fade into my image. Let me grab my images, media, boom. Let me grab, here's my final painting, his face. Maybe I will drag his face right here. And I'm gonna drag this out here, and maybe I want to kind of change this. I'm gonna pull this down. Let me see, make it smaller. So I could put him in this little frame if I wanted to, and we could fade into that. So it's just like, boom, there it is. But I could add some text to that if I wanted to. Like if I felt like this is how I wanted to showcase at the end. I don't think it goes with this video, but this is, you know, just for you, for reference. Let's see what we can do. Let's see. I want to do just text. Let's just add text. And I'm gonna grab a title, and maybe I add a modern title. Maybe I'm gonna add the modern title. I'm gonna bump this down, and I'm gonna bump this down. In fact, let's do it like this. Boom. I'm gonna grab this modern title. I'm gonna add it so it comes in right after this thing here. I'm gonna, boom, there we go. And I'm gonna make this modern title smaller. And I'm gonna put that right here. And I am going to, let's kind of, there we go. Like that. And then let's make the text color black. This is, you know, purely experimentational, but, and then let's just write True Detective, since this is a True Detective fan art. And it kind of, honestly, it kind of looks like a clue. You know, if it doesn't work, we just delete it. Exactly, Celine. If it doesn't work, you just delete it. And that's fine. Yep, had that problem too. Took me some time to figure out dissolve was the way to go. Yeah, dissolve is definitely what you want here. So I'm gonna kind of drag this out and bump it over. If I can, boom. So I have this True Detective thing kind of come up. And what we can do is grab transitions, and we can do like a fade to black on all of this so that it all fades to black at the same time into this. So let's see what that looks like. Cool. Cool. And it does a little pan. It does a little pan for us. You see that? How it's like moving in there? That's cool. That's really cool. And then I would fade it to black out there so it's not like, you know, crazy, but it you know, it gives us, I think, let me see, what is that? There's like a weird, hold on. One thing is strange. One thing is weird. Yeah, what is that? I think it's this fading to black. Let me delete that fade to black. Let's see. I think we only have room for... Yeah, there we go. Boom. So now we have this thing, it pans in the frame, and that looks really, really neat. Okay. Fade to white. There is a fade to white. There is actually fade to white. Maybe you're right. Maybe that would look way better since we're fading out into a white background. Let's try that. Let's try fade to white on all of these. I think you're a genius. That's not one that I usually use, Angelica, but I think you may be right that this is like the best kind of chance, honestly, to use that. Oh, you know what? They're not even. They're not even. Let me zoom over here. Yeah, look at that. That's a problem. Because I was zoomed out, so I couldn't see that this stuff is not even. That's the problem right there. Let me... What happened to our graphic? There we go. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why that did that. Let me hold my place here with that, and then I'm going to move, if I can, that to there. Okay, maybe? I don't know. Let me add it. I'll just re-add those. Yeah, like not have them connected. I noticed it has like a little tail connection. There we go. Okay, I just wanted to make sure they're not connected in any way. And now that should be, yeah, there you go. Perfect. Okay, now let's try a fade to white. Let's grab white, boom, white, boom, white, boom. Let's see what that does. Hey! Good job, Angelica. No, that looks good. That was a great idea. That looks really cool. Like I said, it's not my actual like outro to the video. Well, I mean, maybe it could be. Why not? Why shouldn't we have it like that? What's stopping us from doing that? Let's see. Let me edit, because what I want to do then, if we do actually use this, what I would like to do is have a different kind of vibe here for our text. So let me see. I want to do, what was that? I think it was Great. Is it Great Fighter I'm using? Let me come back to my Photoshop and see what I got. What is this font? That is, yeah, Great Fighter. And I'm gonna remove the shape. I don't think we need the shape. I don't think the shape is doing anything for it, because it's not cohesive like the rest of what I got. And I'm gonna bump this down and maybe make it larger so it just says oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me make sure I know how to spell his name. I'm just gonna put True, I think his name is either Rust or Rusk, but I think it's Rust. True Detective Rust. I think it's Rust. Rustin Cole. Okay, so yeah, it is Rust. So we're actually gonna write, we're actually gonna put Detective Rust here. Detective Rust. Boom. And I'm gonna just make this slightly smaller. Detective Rust. And then underneath, I'm gonna duplicate this. Control J, or actually not in this, so just right click and duplicate. And I am going to grab this one, and I'm going to make it larger. And I'm gonna put True Detective under here, I think. I don't know how this is gonna go over, but we'll see what this looks like. Detective Rust. And I'm gonna put true detective. I think I'm spelling detective right. Yes, I am spelling detective right. And maybe we put his name instead of Detective Rust. We don't have detective showing up twice. So let's put, let me grab this. Detective Rust. Let's put Rustin, how do you spell his name? Rustin Cole. Rustin Cole. So that's his name and the show he's from then. Looking good. Looking great. I like it. Let me kind of bump that, center it a little bit. Now let's see how this goes. Not bad. Not bad. I think it all should fade. I feel like it all should fade to black then, because then I'm going to put my my outro after that. Okay. In Premiere Rush, is there a simple way to do like a typewriter effect for text? Because having it come in like it's being typed would be a nice flourish. Let's see. I think that would probably be maybe something that would be in like the titles and stuff already. Let's see if they have something like that, like something typewritery, because you're right, that would be kind of cool. What's the slash title? What does the slash title look like? Let's just throw this in there and see how that animates. No, let's see. That seems like something that would definitely have. Let's see. What about this one? That's kind of cool. It just like swipes across. That's kind of a neat one. Let's see, how does it fade out? Oh, it's like a mask, like a nice little mask. Let's see. Delete. Let's go dynamic call out. I want to see if there's like a typewriter font that I can see, because I assume that would be like, you know, something that would be kind of along the lines of what you're looking for. This one looks like it might be like kind of a swipe here. Let's see if that works. Let's play that. Nah, no, we're not gonna do that underneath Rust. I don't think that's gonna work. I think let's see what we got. There's like kind of a typewritery thing. What's this? That one like flies in. Let's see what else we got. There's like a whoa, like a kablam comic title. I'm sure that's not really what what we're going for, but that would be cool. Just as something. Centered quote. Is this? I want to see if I wonder if the quote writes itself. No, but that's cool. That's not bad, but that's not what we're looking for. Maybe this one? Let's just kind of like explore a little bit. LOC, what's up? Welcome in. That's kind of cool that this does that, though. That's kind of like true crime documentary-esque. Like, you know, the case that would shake this country. Or so, you know, like something like super dramatic, like at the beginning, and then it starts showing like all these like photos of like, you know, people, and then you're like waiting for the documentary to begin to be like, what's happening here? What's going on? I hope you guys like my announcer voice. I was trying. Typography pop in? I don't know. I'm not sure if they have a typewriter one. But I'm sure that there's like tons and tons of different things that you could really, you could probably find to your liking in here. They even have like this, like check this out. If you want to add this to the end of your video, look at that. look at that. You have like a whole graphic thing set up that comes in, and you can add your videos and stuff, like your next recommended videos to this. So we are coming close to the end. I've got about 10 minutes left. So the one thing that I do want to do before we take off today is I need to add my intros, I need to add my outros, and I need to add music so that we have like a finished thing. You could use a wipe on a title to create a bit of the effect if it's only one line. Yeah, you could do that. Sort of like a Lifetime movie network voiceover. Dari, it's good to see you. Welcome in. Thank you for popping in. Okay, so I'm gonna navigate to my personal intro, the intro that I use all the time. And I do a little bit of a cheat with this. Let me add media, YouTube intro. Okay. I'm gonna add this before. And okay, so this is my intro. I'm gonna play it. I just have like a bunch of, you know, like paint swipes that like reveal my my logo, and then it just boom, boom, bumps up and it says my name, and then that's the end. I really like it. I need to put a fade to black, or a fade, like I'm gonna put a fade to black on the actual stuff that I'm fading into, because the intro already fades to black, but I want these to fade as well. There we go. That's not working. Let me see. Which one is it that is not working? Oh, probably this. I'm gonna dissolve that one. Let's dissolve it. And we'll dissolve this one too, because I don't want the black to do that. Let's do a dissolve, and we'll have this one kind of fade in. Let's see. There we go. That's much nicer. Check that out. Boom. There it is. There's everything. So we have the intro go out, and so this is what I meant by I do a cheat. I told you guys I have an intro and outro, and what I actually have is just an outro, or an intro and an intro. So I'm going to also add my intro here, and all I do is I crop. I clip out the first part of my outro, or my intro, and make it the outro. So I come over here and I just scrub back until just before this ampersand appears. So it's just my my logo that's like a solid white. Okay, and then I hit the clip button. So I've clipped that portion out, and I delete that, and then let me do a I'm gonna do a dissolve on this. I'm gonna do a dissolve on this. I'm gonna do a dissolve on this, and I'm gonna do a fade to black on that. Now check this out. When I do this, wait, should I do a fade to black? I don't think I should do a fade to black. Let's do a dissolve on everything, and see how that works. Okay, so check this out. And then it just goes boop. I don't know. Let me see. There's a little something that's slightly weird. Okay, no dissolve on this. No dissolve on that. I don't think. Oh, you know what? There we go. Let's see, where is the issue? Okay, I'm dissolving out this that's on top. Let's take that dissolve off and keep it. Let's try this. Play. Please don't clip everything out. Okay, I'm still dissolving something out. Ooh, probably this one. Probably this. I think what I'm doing is accidentally deleting that. I need to get in closer here and look. So this is my image. This right here, this is the overlay. I don't want to dissolve that out, and I don't want to dissolve the text either. I think I kind of got ahead of myself there. Let's see. So this transition, I think, looks nice. Yes. Now let's scrub forward and see if this transition, oops. How does that? Nice. Okay. I do want to fade. It's a little strange, and I'm not quite sure exactly what it is. Maybe I need a fade to white on this. I could do that. A fade to white would probably look good because it's a little abrupt. Is it me or yeah, it's a little bit abrupt. So let's do a fade to white actually on this instead of a dissolve out. Let's see what that looks like. Nope. Nope, no transition at all. But then regardless, it goes out into my cropped intro that just, you know, shows my little VooDoo Val thing, and then it fades out. And I think that that's fine, because it allows me to kind of have, like, it's like a 2-for-1 kind of deal here where I've got, like, you know, I've got my intro, my outro is very cohesive because it's the tag end my intro, but it serves its purpose. It just reminds you that I'm VooDoo Val, here's my icon that is recognizable, here's my tagline and or my handle, and please go check me out other places if you can. And then the last thing, because we literally have like 4 minutes, I can't believe that we fit everything like perfectly into this episode of this segment of Adobe Live. This is so cool how this ended up. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to add our song. And it's gonna just pop in at the bottom here, and I'm gonna just, this is what I do, is I'm just gonna duplicate this, and I'm gonna bump this over here, and I'm gonna drag this in to the very end, just like that. I'm going to put a, like a dissolve or a fade to black, like just on the audio, and I'm gonna drag, oops, let me zoom in there a little bit closer. I'm gonna drag this transition out, if I can, a little closer. There we go. There we go, grab that. You know the difference between grabbing the end of something and grabbing the transition? Because if I zoom in here real quick, you'll see there's a difference between the icon. You see how that just has like that flat with the arrow pointing out? When you click the transition highlights, and you can actually see it has a little transition icon drag. So look out for that. But you know, the music fades. I could even, if I wanted to, I could put some kind of transition fade here, but I don't think I need it. But let's preview in the last couple of minutes. Let's preview what this looks like. Let's listen to it. The beat drops right when the intro is finished, right there. And then it just fades into the painting. I've got, you know, stuff here, and in the first, at the 15-second mark of the actual painting, I should have my little thing come up. Leave a like. There we go. We got like a little animation. Cool beans. And I'll scrub through this because we are gonna have to take off soon. Oh, there's our little subscribe. There's our subscribe thing right there. Boom! Subscribe! Yeah! And then let's go to the kind of tail end here. It's like he's kind of finished. And then we should have our fade into, yeah, Rustin Cole from True Detective. And he's got that little animation back behind there. And then it should fade into my outro. And then it should fade down quieter. Yeah! Okay, we did it. It looks super neat. Okay, so we got a whole video. I am out of time, but that was really fun. I'm glad you guys came to hang out for all of this. It's been really cool just kind of getting to dive into some video editing, because I'm only ever on here doing illustration, and now I can kind of show you like what did I do, what do I do with those videos like after I'm done, like how do I make something that I can present to everyone else afterwards. So you know, because you know, it's better to be able to show a time-lapse video than just to like post the image, because especially if you're doing stuff in Fresco and you have the time lapse, why not? And now you guys know that it's very, very easy. Thank you everyone so much for watching me today. Thank you all for being so positive, and for also giving me some suggestions. There's like Angelica and all of you folks really gave me some pretty good tips, and we tried some stuff out and it was great. Please stay tuned for the XD Daily Creative Challenge hosted rebroadcast with Andrea Epi, and I will see you folks tomorrow. Okay? Adios, everyone, and happy designing.